Ladies and gentlemen, life is not meant to be easy, it's meant to challenge us, shape us, and ultimately strengthen us. But how we respond to life's difficulties determines who we become. Today, I want to share with you 10 unbreakable rules that will help you not just face challenges, but overcome them with purpose, power, and pride. The very first and most important truth you must accept is this: life will challenge you no matter who you are, where you're from, or what your goals are. Difficulty doesn't discriminate. Rich or poor, strong or weak, wise or inexperienced, everyone at some point will face storms. It's not personal. It's life's way of molding you into the person you're meant to become. We often waste so much energy fighting the fact that life gets hard. We ask ourselves, why me? Why now? Why this? But here's the truth: the question isn't why things are happening to you. The question is what you're going to do about it. Because the moment you accept that challenges are not exceptions but expectations, everything changes. When you expect life to be easy, you're shocked and disappointed when things go wrong. But when you embrace the reality that difficulty is part of the journey, that every great person, every great achievement, every great transformation comes through trials, you no longer fear the storms. You begin to prepare for them. You begin to stand firm in them. Think about the strongest people you admire: leaders, creators, athletes, survivors. Do you know what they all have in common? They've all faced pain. They've all faced loss. They've all fallen, sometimes hard, but they stood back up. Not because life gave them a break, but because they accepted that this is what life does: it knocks you down, so you can learn how to rise. So if you're going through something hard right now, I want you to hear this: you are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. You are simply being tested, and that test is shaping you for the next level. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Power lives on the other side of pressure. And your future self is depending on you to stop running and start facing it head on. Until you accept that pain is part of the process, you'll never unlock your full potential. Because true strength isn't found in a life without problems. It's found in the person who faces problems without surrender. One of the greatest causes of stress, anxiety, and even failure is trying to control things that are simply not yours to control. People spend their lives trying to change others, rewrite the past, predict the future, or manipulate outcomes. But the truth is, the more you cling to control, the more powerless you actually feel. Real power comes from clarity, from knowing what belongs to you and what doesn't. And the only things you truly control in this life are your thoughts, your attitude, your actions, and your reactions. That's it. Everything else, how people treat you, what the world throws at you, what happens outside of your intentions, those are not your responsibility. You don't control the weather, but you control whether you complain or carry an umbrella. You don't control someone else's opinion, but you control whether it defines your worth. You don't control the setbacks, but you control whether you give up or get better. Too many people waste years being frustrated, bitter, angry, or sad over things they simply cannot fix. And in doing so, they lose sight of the real power. They do have the power to respond with purpose, to protect their peace, to grow through the pain, and to act with wisdom. Let go of what you can't change. It's not weakness, it's maturity. It's emotional intelligence. Because you can't be at your best when your energy is constantly leaking into things you don't control. And make no mistake, your energy is sacred. Don't let it be hijacked by the noise, the chaos, or the actions of others. This rule isn't about giving up, it's about showing up stronger. It's about shifting your focus from worrying to winning, from resisting what's outside to reinforcing what's inside. Control what you can: your discipline, your effort, your mindset. Release what you can't: people's approval, the outcome of every situation, the past. And once you master that balance, your life will feel lighter. Your mind will feel clearer, and your steps will become unstoppable. You can have talent, you can have goals, you can even have a plan, but if you don't have resilience, you won't survive life's storms, because the truth is life will knock you down. It will test you, delay you, disappoint you, and push you to the edge. And in those moments, your mindset is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain, it's about becoming stronger because of it. It's not the absence of struggle that makes you powerful. It's the ability to keep going through it, to get back up one more time, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. How do you build that kind of mindset? You start by shifting your internal language. Stop saying, "I can't take this," and start saying, "I'm learning to handle this." Stop thinking, "This is the end," and start believing, "This is just a chapter." Because your mind listens to the words you feed it, so feed it strength, feed it faith, feed it hope. You also build resilience by facing the hard things, not avoiding them. Every time you deal with discomfort instead of running from it, you get tougher. Every time you solve a problem instead of ignoring it, you grow. Every time you take responsibility instead of blaming others, you rise. And here's the truth. You don't need to be born strong. You need to become strong through practice, through repetition, through discipline. Resilience is a daily habit, not a one-time decision. Read books that challenge your thinking. Practice gratitude, especially when it's hardest. Take care of your body, because physical strength supports mental endurance. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not pull you down. The world can take a lot from you: time, money, opportunities, even relationships. But the one thing it can't take is your mind unless you give it away. Protect it, train it, strengthen it, because when your mindset is resilient, life stops being a threat and starts becoming a challenge you're ready to conquer. Everyone feels pain. Everyone goes through something that breaks them, shakes them, or leaves them questioning their worth. But not everyone transforms that pain into power, and that's what separates survivors from warriors. Pain can destroy you, or it can develop you. It can harden your heart or open your soul, and the difference is the meaning you attach to it. Because pain without purpose feels like punishment, but pain with purpose becomes fuel for transformation. The truth is, you didn't go through what you went through for no reason. The heartbreak, the failure, the loss, the betrayal, the fear. It all happened not to break you, but to wake you, to build something inside you that comfort never could. Purpose doesn't come from perfect moments, it comes from scars. From the lessons you didn't ask for, but needed. From the battles that bruised you, but also built you. And when you begin to see your story not as something to hide, but as something to use, everything changes. Your pain can become someone else's hope. Your story can become someone else's survival guide. That thing you thought would destroy you may actually be the very thing that equips you to lead, to teach, to uplift. But to turn pain into purpose, you must make a choice. Will you let this moment define you, or refine you? Will you bury the pain, or build something from it? You don't have to wait until you're fully healed to start using your story. Even in the middle of the mess, you can be a light. You can say, "I'm still here, I'm still fighting, and if I can get back up, so can you." Purpose is born in the fire, and every time you choose to rise from what tried to break you, you step deeper into your true calling. Dreams don't come true just because you want them to. Goals aren't achieved because you think about them every day. Success is not about inspiration, it's about action, and not just once in a while, but every single day, even if it's just a small step. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, "I'll start when I'm ready." But here's the truth, you will never feel fully ready. You will never have the perfect plan. The stars will never align in a way that screams, "Now is the perfect moment." Because perfection is an illusion and progress is a choice. It's the daily actions, the small, often unnoticed, sometimes boring habits that build the foundation of extraordinary results. The 10 minutes you spend reading, the 20 push-ups you do even when you're tired, the one healthy choice you make, the one uncomfortable phone call you don't avoid. These may not seem like much in the moment, but over time they compound. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to do something massive every day. You just need to do something every day, because motion builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. And confidence becomes unstoppable. When you take action, even a small one, you're sending a signal to your mind that says, I'm not stuck. I'm moving. I'm choosing growth. And guess what? You won't always be motivated. Some days you'll be tired. Some days you'll feel like quitting. That's normal. That's human. But do it anyway. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left you. Don't wait for the right mood. Build the right habit. Because if you do one thing each day that moves you closer to your vision, no matter how small, you'll eventually look back and realize that small step was actually a giant leap. No matter how far you rise, never forget where you started. No matter how much you achieve, never stop wanting more. This is the unbreakable balance, humility and hunger. Let's start with humility. Humility keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you're not above learning, not above failing, not above anyone else. Humble people don't shout their worth, they live it. They don't need applause, they're too focused on purpose. They understand that ego is the enemy of growth. When you start thinking you know everything, you stop learning anything. Humility is powerful because it opens the door to feedback, mentorship, and perspective. It keeps your feet on the ground even when your vision is reaching the sky. The most dangerous moment in any journey is not when you're struggling, it's when you start winning and think the struggle is behind you forever. Stay humble. Success should never turn into arrogance. Now let's talk about hunger. Hunger is your fuel. It's that fire inside that says, I'm grateful, but I'm not done yet. It's what pushes you to keep evolving, keep climbing, keep chasing the next level of your potential. Hunger isn't about greed, it's about growth. It's about knowing that what you've done is good, but who you can become is even greater. Hunger gets you up early. Hunger keeps you up late. Hunger drives you to push one more rep, read one more chapter, take one more risk. When you're hungry, you don't wait for opportunity, you create it. You don't make excuses, you make adjustments. You don't settle for average, you reach for exceptional. But here's the key, you need both. Hunger without humility becomes ego. Humility without hunger becomes passivity. Together, they create the mindset of a true leader, someone who knows they've come far, but knows there's still so much more inside them. Never let success make you complacent. Never let failure make you shrink. Stay humble enough to keep learning. Stay hungry enough to keep moving, because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. Every single day you're faced with a choice: stay comfortable or grow, and more often than not, comfort will tempt you because it's easy, it's safe, it's familiar. But here's the truth that most people never want to face. Nothing extraordinary happens inside your comfort zone. Growth demands discomfort. It demands stretching beyond what's easy and stepping into the unknown. It means doing things that scare you, challenge you, and often frustrate you. But those are the very moments where transformation begins. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without strain. Confidence doesn't grow without risk. Wisdom doesn't grow without failure. Everything meaningful in life, strength, discipline, resilience, achievement is born in discomfort. Most people stay stuck not because they don't have dreams, but because they're too attached to what feels safe. But safety can be a silent prison. The longer you stay where it's comfortable, the harder it becomes to move. Comfort slowly kills ambition, not all at once, but inch by inch, excuse by excuse, day by day. You have to get uncomfortable with being average. You have to be willing to face rejection, sweat through uncertainty, fall and get up again. Because real growth comes from tension, pressure, challenge. That's where your character is built. That's where your greatness is waiting. Choosing growth means saying yes to opportunities even when you're scared. It means having hard conversations, showing up when it's easier to hide, learning new skills when it feels awkward, and breaking old patterns that no longer serve you. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But the price of growth is temporary pain. The price of comfort is permanent regret. You either live with the discipline of growth now or the disappointment of what could have been later. So ask yourself every day, am I choosing comfort because it's easy? Or am I choosing growth because it's worth it? Because if you want to rise higher, go further, and live fully, you must be willing to get uncomfortable again and again. Your energy is your life force. It's your focus, your drive, your clarity, your peace. And yet so many people give it away freely to things that drain them. Toxic people, meaningless arguments, distractions, doubts, fear. But if you truly want to overcome life's challenges, you must learn to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Everything you allow into your life either charges you or drains you. Every conversation, every thought, every habit, every environment you choose. It either lifts you up or pulls you down. And if you don't become intentional about guarding your energy, life will rob you of it, one leak at a time. Start with people. There are people who inspire you, support you, challenge you to grow. Keep them close. And then there are people who gossip, complain, compete, manipulate, or constantly bring chaos. You don't owe them space in your life. Kindness doesn't require access. You can love people from a distance and still protect your peace. Now look at your habits. How much time are you spending scrolling endlessly, comparing yourself, consuming negativity, numbing your mind with noise? Every moment spent in distraction is energy wasted on nothing. Energy that could have been used to build, to create, to heal, to rise. Then consider your inner voice, because no critic is more powerful than the one living in your own mind. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, shame, and fear, they will sabotage your progress. Train your inner voice to speak power, not poison. Practice gratitude. Affirm your worth. Rewire your beliefs. Protecting your energy also means setting boundaries and holding them. You are not selfish for saying no. You are not mean for needing space. You are not weak for walking away from what doesn't serve you. You are wise. You are focused. You are healing. Your energy is finite. You can't give it to everyone and everything and still expect to have the strength to chase your goals. Every drop of it is precious. Use it for what matters, for growth, for love, for passion, for purpose. Because once your energy is aligned, your entire life follows. Look around you. Your environment is either your fuel or your poison. The people you allow into your space influence your thoughts, your beliefs, your decisions, and ultimately, your destiny. That's why one of the most unbreakable rules for overcoming life's challenges is this: surround yourself with warriors, not complainers. Complainers see the problem in every solution. Warriors see the solution in every problem. Complainers drain you, they magnify fear, they feed doubt. They sit around talking about how unfair life is, how nothing ever changes, how success is for other people. And if you're not careful, their energy becomes your mindset. But warriors, they're different. They don't run from pain, they walk through it. They don't just talk, they act. They don't gossip, they grind. They show you what's possible, even when the odds are against them. Their presence challenges you, stretches you, and reminds you that giving up is not an option. If you want to level up in life, you have to level up your circle. Ask yourself, who celebrates my growth? Who challenges my laziness? Who speaks life into my vision instead of fear into my dreams? Because you become like the people you consistently spend time with. If you hang around complainers, you normalize helplessness. If you hang around warriors, you normalize resilience, discipline, and forward motion. And no, this doesn't mean cutting off everyone you love, but it does mean protecting your mental space with boundaries. It means choosing who gets access to your energy. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life, especially if all they do is distract you from the mission you're on. Iron sharpens iron, but dead weight just drags you down. If you want to rise, walk with those who are rising. If you want to overcome, run with those who refuse to be defeated, because your circle is either watering your growth or slowly suffocating it. If there's one thing you must protect at all costs, it's your belief in yourself. Because here's the truth, there will be days when life doesn't make sense, when nothing goes as planned, when your efforts seem invisible and your progress feels too slow. And in those moments, belief is all you have. Belief is the spark that keeps the fire alive when the world goes dark. It's what gives you the courage to take one more step when you feel like you've got nothing left. It's what whispers keep going when your mind screams give up. You see, people may doubt you. That's okay. You may fail maybe more than once. That's part of it. You might feel lost, unqualified, or unsure. Welcome to the human experience, but no matter what happens around you, you cannot afford to become your own enemy, because when you stop believing in yourself, your goals collapse, your strength fades, and your potential begins to rot in the basement of what could have been. Belief isn't blind optimism. It's not pretending everything is fine when it's not. Belief is the quiet confidence that even if it's hard, even if it takes time, even if I fall, I can rise. I can figure it out. I can become who I was born to be. You were not created to live in fear, doubt, or insecurity. You were built with resilience, creativity, and fire, the kind of fire that only burns brighter in storms. But to tap into that fire, you must be your own ally. Don't wait for the world to believe in you. Believe in yourself so fiercely that the world can't ignore you. Speak to yourself like someone you love. Encourage your vision like someone who's already seen the result. And when you fall, because you will get up with more faith than ever before. Because the truth is, no challenge is bigger than the power of belief. And no one can take away your belief unless you give it to them.